Is there anybody there? Is there anybody there? What's in the box? I think I love retro games. What's in the box? Yes, it is me. It is Jace at Retrogames. Yeah, that was even louder than normal. That was louder than normal, and I've got a bit of a cold. But I'm surviving. I'm here every week. I'm here. It's always the same. What do I do now? Check the cameras. Yeah. Check the cameras. Hello, welcome to the show. Happy Retro Games Day to all our regular followers. How you been? How you having a good time? Is your collection booming? Well, we're all a bunch of buddies. Now, what we've been up to? Well, I was at Edinburgh last weekend, and yeah, brilliant. I love the Edinburgh Festival. I tend to go every year. If you're into comedy, live comedy, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Yeah, once you've been once, you have to go every year, and I've been going now for well over 20 years. And fabulous comedy, and you always, the pick of the fringe, we always grade all the shows that we see, and then we keep on the spreadsheet. It's a bit of data driven. We judge out of 10, every show we see, we judge out of 10. You might see 12 to 15 shows over a weekend. It's busy, maybe some drinking in between, so maybe sometimes you're too tired, and you don't enjoy the show, but it's really good. And every year I go to Edinburgh Festival and I think, oh, I could do this. I could do stand-up. I could invest loads of money. I could pay all this money and get a little tiny venue, and I could be there for the Edinburgh Fringe and, put on some... I don't know. I think if I actually... maybe it's on the bucket list. Maybe something new on the bucket list. Who was the pick of the Fringe? Now, it is still going this weekend. If you see it... anybody who's watching this in Edinburgh... the pick of our Fringe this year was Huge Davies. Now, it was the second time we've seen him. The first time, he was okay, but you can kind of judge where an act is going by the size of their venue over the following years. And his venue got bigger, and we thought, well, let's give him another go. And yes, he's brilliant now. He was absolutely brilliant. He's a very intimidating guy. On a keyboard, he plays and he tells jokes.
Walking down the street with my dad. He holds my hand, I look up, it's not my dad, it's just a random man. He puts me in a van.
He's my pick of the Fringe. Number 2, Crizzards. They're a comedy duo, but they were really funny doing a show about war. But it was really funny. So anyway, that was what I did at the weekend, and I'd be all jealous, thinking, oh, we should have gone to Edinburgh. Definitely recommend it. It's not game related, but you can't just be about games. You've got to do other stuff in your life. Anyway, coming back to games, because that's what we're here for. We're retro gamers. Check this out. This was sent in from our old mate Russ, Rusty Bucket this week. It's an old advert from C&VG. The more you play with it, the harder it gets. Pushing the boundaries, isn't it? You sit there, eyes glued to the writhing arcade quality graphics, pulling and squeezing your knob. Now you're breathing heavily over the digital stereo sound. Now you're shooting all over the place, but it's no use. Game over. Oh my God. Exactly. We talked about Sega marketing being cool. It's probably not cool, that, is it? But it's strange, and we're trying to be a bit edgy. Someone mentioned when we talked about Sega marketing back in the day, how Nintendo snaffled Rick Mail for the adverts. And why didn't we talk about that? Well, we should talk about that.
Hi, Rick Mail here. I don't know if you're like me, immensely rich, talented, handsome. Isn't it a bore? Well, I found the answer. Zelda Link's Awakening from Nintendo. You play a medieval elf named Link.
You travel through many worlds, meeting endless characters on your eternal adventures.
So hey, next time you're Rick Mail, why not try Zelda Link's Awakening? I think you'll like it.
And coming back to comedy, Rick Mail is He's in my top. He's probably one of the greatest, funniest guys of all time, isn't he? We're all the same age, so we all grew up with the young ones. I was in the playground talking about the young ones. Everything Rick did was absolutely brilliant. He was an absolute genius, and it really was truly heartbreaking when he died. And yeah, if I think about it, what a great loss that was. But you know, we've all moved on. Sorry, Rick, we miss you. Retro gaming news this week. Did you see this week they're remaking the Atari VCS? Yeah, the Atari VCS Plus. I mean, firstly, I'm glad they've gone to VCS. They didn't call it 2600, 2600, 2600. They called it a VCS. Good. A video game, a video computer. A VCS, you know what that stands for? Video computer system. Well, you know. But VCS is kind of what Americans call it. VCS, don't they? 2600. No, let's stop. Anyway, what do you think? It plays cartridges. It plays all the old games. So in theory, good for retrogames.co.uk because we'll sell some more Atari cartridges. If anyone was to start building their collection, they've got a HDMI capable console straight away that will play it, no hassle, because the old Atari VCS, the wooden originals like your Sunnyvale, real proper originals, RF out only, so you need some sort of converter box, you need some sort of Fandango stuff, some bits of kit to get that working properly on a modern TV. Whereas if you are using one of these new ones, it's all that hassle's taken away, straight on the old HDMI. Brilliant, whack, done. Anyway, I think it looks really cool. It looks pretty cool. Will I get one? No. Oh, come on, Jace, I know what you're thinking. What's in the box? Yeah, of course, what's in the box. That's what the show's called. That's what we do. We look at the stuff that came in this week at legendary, world famous, dilapidated website, retrogames.co.uk. It still works. We've started talking. We've started some negotiations, some talks about possibly a new Retro Games website. It's very early days. Don't get excited. It will take a very, very long time to get a new website to replace the old one. So, but we've started talking about it. I know it's something that holds us back. A lot of people, not the regulars, I mean, a lot of people would hate it. You change that website, you know, they've grown up with it. I mean, the current version of the website has looked exactly as it is since 2009. That is a long time. So, yeah, understandably, people get affectionate, they like it, but a lot of modern gamers who and maybe only started collecting in the last 5-10 years, they look at our website and they go, this isn't a proper website. It is a proper website. It just has very small text. It was made to look funky in a time when that really counted. And now everything is boring. It's white. It's just hover menus, white, simple. Yeah, and we need to get like that, probably. We need to simplify the website. I know. Overdue. Okay. Anyway, what's in the box? The first thing I'm picking out this week is hardware. Hardware, and it's an unusual one, and I had to put it on. This is a very quirky machine. This is the BBC Bridge Companion. And you're thinking, Bridge? It doesn't look like a... Yeah, Bridge is a game. It's a card game old people used to play. And this is a games console. License fee money went into developing this console. I mean, wherever you had the BBC Model B, that was just a licensing agreement. They actually funded this. Let's just put it on the big slot. You can see, I mean, it's lovely in the box, but this is a really rare British console. I mean, and you're saying that's not a console, it's like just a TV game. No, it takes cartridges. I know. And you're thinking, well, why haven't I seen one of them before? No, they are very obscure. Not a lot of people will have seen them. I like at the top of the box, it's got a quote. Let me read this quote to you from this guy. It's easy to use and the presentation could hardly be clearer or more logical. An instant get more out of your bridge kit with the promise of more to add to it later. And that is, this is probably relates to the BBC branding and, you know, paying to release this thing. That quote is from Jeremy James, presenter of BBC TV's Bridge Club. Now, I had to search to find a bit of footage of BBC TV's Bridge Club. Now, sadly, I couldn't find any Jeremy James, but I could find this with Shaw Taylor of Police 5 fame, and probably one of the greatest retro TV intros of all time. Check this out.
Seven of spades. 10 of spades. From dummy, the queen of spades.
Well, I can't follow suit, so I discard the 6 of diamonds.
Our trick.
Is it just me, or does it feel like these lovely ladies might be taking their clothes off in a minute?
8 of spades.
And there goes my king of spades, losing to your ace.
Yeah, anyway, so let's have there's more to show on the box before we get the console out. I will get it out, but look at this picture. I love it when the family are playing. I mean, it's the it hasn't got controllers. It's on a lap, but look at the slacks. Look at his trousers. They are very 70s, aren't they? Even though it's an 80s machine. And the dog's in on the act, and there it is on the tip. They're seeing a funny angle. I'm guessing that's just for the photo, but you really should face the TV. He's not looking at either the controls or the TV. Very strange, and you can see that. I mean, you can see the graphics. They are very. I mean, it's like a bad Spectrum game. Let's be honest. A lot of bridge games on the Spectrum. Funny enough. Let's get it out. Let's get it out. Let's get it out. Yeah, bit of Marvin Gaye. Not that Marvin. Don't talk about that Marvin. He's in the bin. He went. You know, he's gone. He's gone. Forget about him. Forget about him. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a what? It's going to be a slide it down. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was a bit, wasn't it? It was a bit. Oh gosh. I'm bashing the cameras. Oh, we've got a poly in us. What way is it? Let me. It's the right way up. You ready? I'll do it on the big camera. Let's lift the lid. Actually, it's facing away. Let's do it facing towards me. Here it is. This is the BBC Bridge Companion. Whoa! What a beast it is. Massive power supply, very simple, huge, and then we've got. Let's get it out. Let's get it out. Here it is. This is a games console, and that is the cartridge slot. We've just got power and RF out. That is all it's got. All the controls. They're all bridge related. And if you're thinking, but yeah, but Jason, this is a console and it takes cartridges. How did you play the other games? No, every game is about bridge. It's hard to believe. Only in the UK would something like this come out. It is listed our super rare section because where the hell do you put it? It's just crazy, isn't it? And it's got this strange design. It's got designed by Heber Limited. Heber. I don't know, but it's got BBC branding under license from BBC Enterprises Limited. This is a proper, the BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation. I think it's quite a low serial number. I think that's assigned to how many they made. This is 01993, so under 2,000 units. The last one we had of these in stock, it did sell eventually, but we had it for about 10 years. I'm not expecting this to fly out. It's a bit niche. Here we go. So we've got the Bridge Builder Handbook, and there's also an operating manual for the console. I always hope that these kind of manuals are going to have "Welcome to the world of bridge" or something like that. But no, looking at it, it's just regular setup stuff. How to play bridge. We've got a letter in there. Got a letter. Let's read the letter. Dear Bridge Player. Following your previous inquiry about the BBC Bridge Companion, we're writing with details of our special Christmas offer. As a special seasonal gesture, we're making the BBC Bridge Companion available at only £189.99. Is there any surprise that there might only be 2,000-3,000 of these in existence? 190 quid back in 1989. Wow, that is a lot of money. You've got to be pretty dedicated to your bridge. But only to all inquirers previously registered with us. This offer expires on the 31st of January 1989 and is only available by mail order from Electronic Challenge. We're also including our new Christmas catalogue of electronic games, and we hope these may be of interest to you. Please use the order form if you want to buy anything. And that's from P. Gota. It's strange, this is a type letter to all the new owners. The Electronic Challenge Vector Services Limited, that's who's actually behind that. Not actually, you're actually writing to the BBC. But yeah, strange, sadly no catalogue in there. I can't show you any of the other electronic games. But let's have a little look at the cartridges. They're very solid. I mean, these things, you can hear the quality of that. It's a proper piece of work. That is a proper lovely solid cartridge. This is the Bridge Builder. This is the game that came with it. But there are other games available. We have got some in stock. They must be incredibly rare. Because if you bought, well, I guess if you're that keen then Bridge that you're going to buy the machine, maybe you are going to buy all the cartridges. I don't know. But anyway, it's a fascinating insight into a bygone era, and it's the way we like to start the show. I know what you're thinking. What's next in the box, Jay? Give me a break. What about this? Now, I love these old things. This is a display case for Atari VCS games. Now I've left a couple of Atari games in there to show you. This is Wood Effect. Let me put it on the big camera. Wood Effect. You'd have this next to your TV, so you'd have one of these for cassettes, and then you have one for Atari. You know what cassettes are. Well, you lot do. You lot, but they're putting cassettes are coming back into production, aren't they? Makes you think, oh well, if you're making cassettes again, maybe they'll make cassette games again. Who knows? But anyway, yeah, they're just lovely. You just pull out your cartridge, and you're ready to go. Brilliant. We don't get these very often. Most people are, if there's one retro gaming item that's likely to end up in landfill, it's that. Can't see that. You know, IKEA aren't making those anymore. What's next in the box, guys? Well, we've just got some more hardware, more weird hardware. First up is this. This is a circuit. It's a circuit electronic construction kit on there, and you're thinking, well, what is that, Jace? What is that? It's a weird thing. What is this? Well, this is a modem. Oh, don't get all right. It's a modem for the Amstrad CPC Prestel Link. It's just a standard kind of interface. You plug it into your Amstrad CPC. Incredibly rare. It's made by Circuits. It's especially for Amstrad. Prestel Link user guide. Incredible. I mean, this is the early days of the internet. Nobody really understood it. Isn't it funny? I mean, kids today, my kids, they don't remember a time before the internet. You have to kind of explain it. It's like you know, my grandma grew up in a time when there was no cars, and to her it felt weird. And you know, nowadays kids don't understand what it was like with no internet, no Google. If you wanted to try and remember something, you actually had to think, ask your friends, ring them up on the phone. Who's that person in that film? Do you remember? Sometimes I can remember my family. There'd be questions like that lingering around the family for weeks until somebody finally says the answer. Yul Brynner! But anyway, funny times, isn't it? No internet. But on a theme here, we've got another one. Yes, another one. And this is a gorgeous piece of retro kit. This is by Protec. You might remember Protec as a Spectrum peripheral maker. They made RAM packs and joystick interfaces. But they also made this, the 1200 modem. Now this is compatible with a whole host of machines. And the reason for that is, I mean, you only ever see these in films. But let me get it out. I'll just show you the box. Oh, upside down. Show you the box first. You only see this stuff now. It's so retro. It's so from time gone by. 1984. People think the internet's a new thing. No, this is from 1984. It's compatible with all RS-232 interfaces, apparently. It's all here. It's got the box. It's got the manual. Not much instructions to say, and there it is. It's got a connection cable. And this bendy piece of joy, you plugged the handset of your phone into, and I know what you think, it looks a bit massive. Yeah, you literally, the phone receiver plugs in, these are squashy rubber cups, and audio connects your computer through audio. No, not digital, audio, the sound. Well, we should be used to that because cassettes are sound, aren't they? So connecting online via sound, that's how early modems worked, pre-broadband. But it just seems so basic to actually plug the phone into... I mean, hello? What? Oh my God, there's somebody there. No, there isn't. Yeah, it's got Protect on the back. It's a beautiful condition. It's a real piece of history. And it got me looking. You know, Prestel. So there's the VTX modems. We've got them in stock for a while for Spectrum. There's Commodore modems. Generally, this 1980s period, people were logging into something called Prestel. And I thought I'd just check it out and see what it's like. Now you'll notice I haven't added any background music because early modem use and early examples of the internet were deadly silent. Yeah, no sound, no pictures, just text. So this is logging on. Very, very slow to log on. I think we're getting there. Oh, well, I mean, it's glitchy, isn't it? Welcome to... I've got a cursor going all over the show. Here we go. Oh, it's exactly the same thing again, but it's there. Please enter your personal password, only 3 digits. Good morning, Rob. This is the Prestel intro page. It's irrelevant, it's irreverent. It's the back page. A bit like CFAX, choose a different page and check things out. Just pages of info. This is some messages. This is Zaphod saying use it before you lose it. I don't know. So I think, yeah, you'd log on, you'd go through your text messages. Hi, yes, I'm leaving now, not paying any time charges, just going to do a log off for last time. Must have meant something to the guy at the time. This is a blank message. Can you imagine how disappointing that would be? Press 1 to store message, key 2 to erase. Hi, yes, I'm leaving now, not paying. That's the same one. Just go. I don't know. I mean, this seems like an urgent message. Maybe she could have done it on a phone. Do you think? Maybe a phone call would have sorted that out. Morning, I'm here, that's Mark. Who are you? Notice you didn't get chucked off last night. Mark. We're on chat box now. This is more, I don't know, chat. Good morning, everybody. Is there anybody out there? These sound of... It reminds me of the early days of CB radio. Morning, world. Does anyone know what's happened to JD? Can't get through to him. Something's wrong with the mailbox number. Crazy. C. Swanson. David, are you still online? See that you can no longer afford to communicate in this manner. It must have been expensive to use. Dialing up on the telephone. Calls were dear then. Morning, Mum. Look, I'm up without having to be told to. David. What a waste of time. I mean, you have to remember, these were simpler times. People were, you know, prepared to go the extra mile for a little... we had CFAX then. And, you know, CFAX would never survive now. You know, people used to wait for their page to come. Do you remember? You'd wait for your page, the football scores, and you have to wait for the numbers to go around the top to get to your... In that environment, this seemed like a brilliant idea. Which is, I know, it's crazy. But just goes to show, isn't it? There was internet out there well before anyone used the word internet or World Wide Web. There was Prestel. And yeah, 2 fascinating glimpses into a world gone by. What's next in the box, Chase? Okay, what's next? We got some Spectrum! Yeah, it's been a while. It has been a while. Got some Spectrum, just a couple of Spectrum classics had to come out today. What about this? Death Chase! Yes, Death Chase, riding through the forest, shooting those lovely... Oh, it's just a classic. It's one of the real first early brilliant games. Mervyn J. Escort. He also... They shared... Derek Brewster and Mervyn Escort shared all the programming responsibilities at Micromega. And they made some great games. Codename Matt, Full Throttle, Death Chase. They made some Haunted Hedges. They made some rough ones too. But Death Chase really was the king of them all. And we've said it before, the bikes never shoot back. There was a vicious rumour that made us all play far too long. But what a great game. Now I picked this one. This is a classic-ish. This is Trans Am. Now I bought Trans Am at the time. It's my ultimate play the game. You know, everyone's favourite. It became rare. And it's classic. It's got that it's a beautiful font. I can remember loving the way the letters looked. The way that they've got reflections of mountains in the Trans Am word, and that stupid car there looked like it's a good. I mean, back then, as a kid, anything that had a car on it, it got an extra few, you know, extra few points in the desirability score. A car on a cassette box, I want it, I want it. But I was thinking, I played this, I got this, I played it, but is Trans Am actually the worst ultimate play the game on the Spectrum? I think it's a toss-up, isn't it? Trans Am, let's check it out. Trans Am. Now the next worst. What would you else? I mean, people say, oh yeah, but hang on, Nightshade was wrote. No, but Nightshade was a completely different work of art compared to the basic nature of the early games. So really, you've got to be talking about the first four: Jetpack, obviously, Trans Am, Psst, and Cookie. And I'd say the weakest of those is probably Trans Am, but after that, maybe Psst or Cookie. Let's just have a little reminder. I'm right, aren't I? Trans Am is the worst ultimate play the game. Ultimate play the game. I think so. But you know, comment. Tell me I'm wrong. Okay, now I've got something a bit special in the box now. No, not that special. It's this. It's a Sinclair game. It's Pastimes 2. Now, Pastimes 1 is rare. These original Sinclair games, a lot of people who collect Sinclair, they want to have all the first-party releases. But Pastimes 2, that's the rarest one. We put 30 quid on it. 30 quid. It's only 16k. It includes 4 games. You can tell what sort of games. You can tell how dull these games are by the titles. They make Trans Am look like an absolute piece of work. Secret Code, Mind Boggling, Kim, and Magic Square. What's the odd one out? Kim is the odd one out. Yeah, it was a a nightclub simulator. No, what is Kim? It doesn't say. It doesn't say what you're doing, Kim. And just loading instructions really in there. But interesting. It's 16k. Pastimes 2, one of the rarer Sinclair games for the Spectrum. Last Spectrum game, and it's a rare one. I like to bring you special things on the show. This is special. This is the first time this game has been revealed because it's MIA! It's MIA! We've got an MIA. This game exists in memories only. There is no... This is possibly the only copy in the world. I just wish it was a bit more exciting. It is Cricket on Spec. Cricket on Spec. This is a missing MIA game. We don't see much stuff like this. It's got a horrible homemade inlay. Cricket on. It's by Micro Juice. And if you're familiar with World of Spectrum and how they rate stuff, and you'll know that it is incredibly rare. It has never ever been found before. But we found it. We've got it. It's got some really worn out. It's got some dents in the inlay. Is there any instructions in? I think there might be some instructions. There is some printed. 1983. 1983. Good news, guys. It's not lost forever. It exists. And you can buy it for a lot of money. Cricket on Spec for 16k Spectrum is a very small program. A game for 1 to 2 players can be played as a championship. The computer will ask how many players each side. Input the number. The batsmen are ready to face. Press 1 and enter. The ball will show on the screen where it bounces. Quickly choose your shot from the following. So basically it's a number import game. You input, number import. Yeah, importing numbers. No, input. So basically you just press 1 to 9 for a sweep, leg glance, on drive, forward defensive, old drive. It's a reaction test by the sounds of it. The scoreboard will show full details if you press 0 and enter after a ball. You may play yourself or an opponent. Toss to see who has their innings first. That's not rude. Yeah, okay, not the most exciting game, but it is cricket on the Spectrum. It could be the second or third cricket game ever on the Spectrum. I don't know. Test match by CRL. I'm thinking it's 1982. And this is 1983. Anyway, I knew you'd like it. It is special. What's left in the box? One more thing in the box. There's loads of stuff got listed this week. We've done loads of testing on hardware. Another Acorn Electron, a modded Xbox, boxed PlayStation 1s, boxed PlayStation 2s, some transparent N64 consoles, Sega Master Systems, Spectrum Plus 2A. There's been loads of hardware. We've been sorting out hardware again. Atari VCS Sunnyvale. There's a Sunnyvale win on this week. But I've got to show you stuff I get excited about. And unfortunately, hardware, consoles, that's every day for me. That's just everyday stuff. And I just can't get excited about it. So, up yours. People don't say up yours anymore. They should. Anyway, it's a handheld game. You know I love handheld games. It's this one. It's Western Bar. Western Bar by Casio. Incredibly popular. I think a lot of people must have got this game when it came out. I'll just show it on the big screen there. Look, it's beautiful. It's beautiful decals. Decals. The Casio, they really did decorate their handheld games. Beautiful. It just takes two AA batteries. No mucking around with horrible watch batteries. And you have your left and right and fire. It's a simple shooter, really, but it's set in the Wild West. And there we open it up, and it's got the sound speakers in there, and there's the screen. And now, give me a second. I'm going to show you it working. Oh yeah. Welcome to Western Bar. Okay. Pretty loud. Yeah. Okay. So we move left and right. Just try and catch that. And move left and we're trying to shoot the drinks off the bar. It's quite literal. Western Bar. Shoot the drinks. Well, wait. But it actually is fun, like all these Game Watches. You know, you play for points. Dodge the detritus. It's a lovely game. I'm going to play the race. Yeah, and it works. Lovely display, lovely condition. We don't get them in very often. To those dulcet sounds of Western Bar, we come to the end of another show. Thank you ever so much for watching. Until next week, happy retro gaming, retro gamers!
Retrogames says thank you for watching. Retrogames says thank you for watching.
This game's so real, it makes me feel like I've been to the Wild West. Right, that's done. I'm going to go off to the bar myself. Western Bar. Setting the bar pretty low.